Hey, so you know how we're always talking about how language reflects culture?
Yeah.
We'll get this. We're going deep on this YouTube video.
Okay.
It's like a walkthrough of this huge mall in Cincinnati. It's called the Kenwood Town Center. And it's like way more than just a shopping guide. It's like a secret decoder ring for American mall culture.
It is interesting to see how the language used in this video, like, reveals these insights into consumerism and even social trends, like way beyond just the vocabulary.
So right away, the YouTuber is pointing out this ramp and a super detailed directory. It's like they're saying, hey, everybody's welcome here.
Yeah, that's not an accident.
Really?
I mean, features like ramps and directories, those aren't just design elements. They actually reflect this broader shift towards inclusivity in these public spaces, like driven by things like the Americans with Disabilities Act.
It's like they're trying to make the mall experience as seamless as possible for literally everyone.
Yeah.
And speaking of experience, the YouTuber keeps mentioning how nice and refreshing the air conditioning is, especially since it was filmed during a heat wave.
That seemingly casual comment actually hints at something deeper.
Oh.
Malls aren't just about shopping anymore. They become these like climate-controlled havens.
Right.
Especially crucial in extreme weather.
It's like a public square, but with AC.
Exactly.
Then we get to the food scene, and the YouTuber makes a distinction between the fast food chains in the food court and the sit-down restaurants that are located outside of the mall. What's the story there?
So the history of food courts is really a reflection of how our dining habits have changed.
Okay.
Initially, they were all about like quick and cheap bites, fueling shoppers on the go.
Right.
But as malls evolved into these more social spaces, we started seeing a rise in these fancier dining options, often located outside the food court itself.
It's like the mall is adapting to our changing tastes, offering something for everyone.
Exactly.
Now, I know you love pizza.
I do.
So what do you think about the YouTuber's pizza price check?
Oh, I love that.
They were comparing a $4.99 slice to what pizza costs in other countries.
It's interesting because it sparks this like global conversation.
Yeah.
About cost of living and purchasing power.
Right.
Like, what can I get for $5 in different parts of the world?
It's like a mini economics lesson tucked into a pizza review.
I love that.
Then we get a taste of local flavor when they stop by Gold Star Chili.
Oh, yeah.
A Cincinnati institution famous for their chili cheese hot dogs, which are called conies.
This is where the mall truly becomes this, like, cultural melting pot.
Right.
Remember how you were saying how much you loved discovering those regional specialties when you travel?
Yeah.
Having this, like, local gem like Gold Star Chili right there in the mall gives visitors this taste of Cincinnati's unique culinary identity.
Absolutely. And it's not just the local spots drawing crowds either.
Right.
The YouTuber points out these super long lines at Chick-fil-A and Chipotle, using those lines as like a visual indicator of their popularity.
That's classic social proof in action.
Oh.
You see a long line, it creates a buzz.
Yeah.
Subconsciously signaling to other customers like, hey, this place must be good.
It's like a silent endorsement from the crowd even before you've tried the food yourself.
Exactly.
Speaking of crowds, the YouTuber then takes us to Akira.
Okay.
A store described as having trendy clothes, especially all this like pink stuff inspired by the Barbie movie.
Oh, fun.
Remember how we were just talking about the influence of pop culture?
Yes.
It's so fascinating to see how malls are always kind of at the forefront of trends.
Right.
Like capitalizing on what's hot at the moment.
Absolutely.
It's like the mall is this living, breathing reflection of what's cool and what's current.
It is.
Now, something that made me chuckle was how the YouTuber was playfully correcting some of the interviewees' grammar.
Yeah.
Pointing out things like, I say versus I would say.
That's such a great example of how language can shift.
Right.
Depending on the setting.
Right.
Like, remember how we talked about using slang with friends versus speaking more formally in like a work meeting?
Yeah.
This mall setting encourages this like more casual style where, slang and informal expressions just feel natural and relatable.
It's like they're creating this sense of comfort and authenticity, making shoppers feel right at home.
Right.
And speaking of comfort, the YouTuber highlights Birkenstock sandals, noting how popular they are for their comfy factor.
That's so interesting because it hints at this potential shift in fashion priorities.
Okay.
Moving away from like purely aesthetic concerns
to
this greater emphasis on comfort and practicality.
It's like people are embracing this more relaxed and functional style, especially in their everyday footwear.
Yeah.
Next up, we enter the world of gaming, where the YouTuber is highlighting this store that specializes in used video games.
This is such a great example of how malls are catering to like budget-conscious shoppers.
Okay.
And the growing trend of sustainability.
Right.
Buying used games not only saves money, but it reduces waste.
It's like they're tapping into this new generation of consumers who are more mindful of their spending habits and the environmental impact of their choices.
Totally.
And speaking of classic shopping experiences, we then arrive at Macy's, which is a prime example of a department store.
Yes.
Do you remember how you were telling me about your family's tradition of like shopping at department stores for special occasions?
I do.
Department stores were once the heart of American retail, offering this vast array of goods under one roof, from clothes and cosmetics to home furnishings and appliances. It was like a one-stop shop.
It was.
For everything you could possibly need.
Right.
It's amazing to think that they were like the original malls with different departments instead of separate stores.
Yeah, I love that.
And of course, no mall experience would be complete without a Starbucks sighting.
Of course not.
The YouTuber actually points out multiple Starbucks locations within this mall.
That's a testament to the ubiquity of coffee culture in America. I mean, Starbucks has become more than just a coffee shop.
Right.
It's a social hub. A place to meet friends, catch up on work, or just enjoy a moment of relaxation amidst the hustle and bustle of the mall.
It's like they've created this sense of familiarity and comfort, making shoppers feel right at home no matter where they are in the mall.
Exactly.
Now, I know we've covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
From accessibility features to food courts, fashion trends, even grammar quirks, but there's so much more to uncover.
There is. As we continue our deep dive, we'll explore how the mall caters to different socioeconomic groups.
Okay.
The psychology of sales and discounts.
Okay.
And even the security measures in place to protect both shoppers and merchandise.
We'll be back in a flash to continue our exploration of mall culture and what it reveals about American consumerism.
Looking forward to it.
Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to our deep dive into mall culture. Remember how we were just talking about how malls cater to different types of shoppers?
Yeah.
Well, this next part of the video really highlights that.
It is fascinating to see how a single space can cater to such a diverse range of needs and desires.
Okay, so the YouTuber is walking past one of those security gates you see when you exit a store. And it made me think about the whole idea of loss prevention.
Yeah, it's a constant challenge for retailers, creating this environment that feels both welcoming and secure at the same time.
Right.
You want shoppers to feel comfortable browsing, but you also need to protect your merchandise.
It's like this delicate balancing act.
It is.
And speaking of balancing, the next stop on the mall tour is a fitting room.
Oh, yeah.
It seems so simple, but there's actually a lot going on there psychologically.
Remember how you're saying you love trying on clothes before you buy them?
Yeah.
The fitting room is where the shopping experience becomes personal.
Okay.
It's where you get to see how an outfit looks and feels on you.
Right.
And ultimately decide if it's the right fit.
It's like that moment of truth. Does this make me feel good? Does this fit my style? Online shopping can't really replicate that, can it?
Exactly. The fitting room offers that level of control and immediacy.
Yeah.
That's so hard to achieve online. It's a tactile experience.
Yeah.
And it plays a huge role in why people still enjoy going to physical stores.
It makes sense. Then we move on to the Apple Store, which the YouTuber describes as always being packed with people. It seems like more than just a place to buy a phone or a laptop.
You hit the nail on the head. The Apple Store has become like a cultural phenomenon.
Okay.
Think about it. It's this sleek, modern space with knowledgeable staff.
Right.
Interactive displays. You can try out the products, get your questions answered.
Yeah.
Even attend workshops.
It's like they've created this whole experience around technology rather than just selling gadgets.
Yeah.
Then we get a glimpse into the world of luxury brands with a visit to Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Rolex.
Fancy.
Do you remember how you were saying you'll sometimes window shop at those high-end stores, even if it's out of your budget?
I do. And it's interesting how the YouTuber acknowledges that these brands are out of their budget too.
Right.
It highlights the economic diversity that you find within a mall.
It's like a microcosm of society with luxury brands catering to one segment of the population and then these more affordable options available for others. It's all there under one roof.
Exactly. And then we circle back to those more accessible price points with another visit to Nordstrom.
Okay.
Remember how we were talking about the psychology of sales earlier?
Yes, and the YouTuber mentions finding some items on sale at Nordstrom. It's like they can't resist a good bargain.
That's the thing about sales. They appeal to our desire to feel like we're getting a good deal.
Right.
Even if the original price was inflated, seeing that discounted price can trigger this emotional response.
Yeah.
That makes us want to buy.
It's like tapping into our fear of missing out, making us feel like we have to grab the deal before it's gone.
Precisely. And Nordstrom is known for its sales.
Uh-huh.
So it's a smart strategy to attract a wide range of shoppers.
Speaking of attracting attention, there's this funny moment where the YouTuber points out a store that's already displaying Halloween decorations in July.
Oh, no.
I know you're a big fan of holiday decorations, so what do you make of that?
It does seem a bit early for Halloween, but it's a perfect example of how retailers are always trying to create excitement and anticipation around upcoming holidays.
It's like they're trying to stay ahead of the game, getting us in the mood to shop months in advance.
Exactly. And it speaks to the commercialization of holidays, where shopping has become such a central part of the celebration.
Right. So we've journeyed from security gates and fitting rooms to the allure of Apple products and the world of luxury brands.
We have.
We've even delved into the psychology of sales and the early arrival of Halloween decorations.
It's amazing how the mall adapts to meet our evolving needs and desires.
Right.
Offering this diverse range of experiences and appealing to a wide spectrum of shoppers.
It's amazing how much we can learn from a simple mall walkthrough when we start to pay attention to the details.
Oh, it's so true.
And it makes you think about how malls might continue to evolve in the future. Will they become more community-focused?
Right.
More experience-driven? Or will something entirely new take their place?
That's the question, isn't it?
We'll be back in a moment to wrap up our exploration of mall culture vocabulary and consider what the future holds for these iconic spaces. Stay tuned. Welcome back.
It's amazing how this mall tour has sparked so many interesting conversations.
Oh, no, right?
About consumerism and trends and even the psychology of shopping. Remember the last segment, how we were chuckling about those Halloween decorations popping up in July?
Yeah, one too early.
It made me think about how retailers are always trying to get us in the mood to buy.
Always.
No matter what time of year it is.
It's true, and it brings up this interesting point about how our shopping habits have changed over the years. Remember when holiday shopping was more concentrated around specific seasons?
Yeah.
Now it seems like it's this year-round event. Right. It's like we're constantly bombarded with messages to buy, buy, buy. It makes you wonder if there's a shift happening, though. More and more people seem to be interested in sustainable shopping and mindful consumption.
That's a really good point. As awareness grows about the environmental impact of overconsumption, I think we'll see this greater emphasis on quality over quantity.
Right.
And a renewed appreciation for experiences over material possessions.
Maybe malls will adapt to this shift by offering more unique events or workshops, things that go beyond just shopping.
Yeah, I think you're right. Malls have always been social spaces.
Right.
So it makes sense that they would evolve to offer more interactive and engaging experiences.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this mall tour, I'm left with a sense of wonder at how much we can learn from just observing the details.
Me too.
From the language used to the types of stores featured.
It's a testament to the power of observation and critical thinking. By paying close attention to our surroundings, we can uncover these hidden meanings and gain a deeper understanding of the world around us.
And it makes you think about how malls might continue to evolve in the future. Will they become more community-focused, more experience-driven, or will something entirely new take their place?
That's a question worth pondering.
Yeah.
And as you venture out into the world, whether it's to your local mall or anywhere else, I encourage you to keep your eyes and ears open.
Yeah.
You never know what fascinating insights you might uncover.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. It's been an eye-opening journey.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.